All right, so I'm here with Doug and Diana Chandler.
I am excited to introduce you to Ken Lee.
I am here in the home of Chris and Linda Zito. They have welcomed me back after I helped them get here from New Jersey to Idaho.
All right, so Ken, tell me a little bit about your background in California.
So I was born in our city of Arcadia, which is near Pasadena, the Rose Bowl.
We were in Concord, California, in East Bay, San Francisco.
We lived there for 9 years. I worked in Emeryville and had the most miserable commute you can possibly imagine.
My whole life was Southern California until 2 months ago and moving to here.
How did the discussion come about? How did Idaho come on the radar for you?
She was in finance for a long time, and the bank she worked for was getting bought out. So we had an opportunity to check new horizons, and New Jersey was mismanaged. It's very expensive. The taxes are very high.
We were just kind of thinking about retirement.
Okay.
And we knew we wanted to go somewhere else, but we had no clue.
We kicked around maybe going down south, but I've been down south, and I was kind of like the humidity. There's too many people from New Jersey down there now.
And then one day, Idaho popped in my head, and I didn't know one thing about Idaho.
We spoke to Linda's dad, and he was out in Walla Walla, and he said, you know, you might want to check out Idaho.
And so I started looking on YouTube, and I found your videos.
So we went to YouTube.
And we found you, Greg.
When we got here, Diana went on to Facebook and she found meetup groups that had common interests with us. And we have been meeting a ton of people. We have a lot of new friends here, very good friends. We've been staying extremely active just with all these new friendships.
All right, well, let's jump into the most popular question I get from anyone relocating from California. That is, do Idahoans hate Californians? What's been your experience?
The great thing about Idaho, I've met so many nice people from California.
Other couples in your group that you meet up with, are they welcoming or are they just like, oh, another Californian?
No, a lot of them are Californians that
Yeah.
are in the same circumstance as us.
Everybody here
everybody
is from
considers
California.
Yeah, really.
It's very rare that I meet someone from Idaho.
Honestly, our experience as a family has been nothing but amazing. We've been so welcomed.
I love it because, again, we're all I feel like we're all new together.
Yeah.
We made a video about our move from Southern California to Star, where you found our great home in Star. We posted that onto the Star Facebook group, and I mean, we had, I'm not kidding, hundreds of comments from people from the city of Star, Idaho, that were just like, welcome. We can't, wait to meet you. Hopefully we see you around town. It was really welcoming.
Everybody's been overly friendly, which at first kind of set you back, like, hey, what are you up to?
Well, I feel, too, that a lot of people are so like-minded here.
Yeah.
And that's another nice, it's refreshing.
So one of the questions I always get is cost of living.
What has been like the utility situation like, or your cost of living
As
overall?
far as living expenses, way cheaper here.
Property tax here is about 70% cheaper than New Jersey, maybe 80%.
It's actually, it was a big shocker because doing our research, again, I got to do my budget, make sure it's going to fit for us. I asked my buddy who lived in Meridian, I said, hey, can you just send me your year's electricity bill, your gas bill, all that stuff. I want to see what it really is.
Water.
Insurance, registration, taxes, everything is
Considerably
cheaper.
lower, yeah.
So he sends us these bills. I thought it was a joke at first. I thought, there's no way. I'm like, that's your electric bill in the summertime? You're kidding me. You're only paying $150 and you run your AC pretty much all the time? Yes. And I'm like, there's no way. That's impossible. You have solar? No.
We were paying $9,000 a year
For a 1,300 square foot home.
What we pay here, we don't even pay, and it's less than what we paid in a quarter back in New Jersey.
So what were your biggest fears leaving California and coming to Idaho?
Being a true SoCal boy, weather was a big one. And we even had friends, are you going to be able to deal with all the snow up there? But I had two friends who had moved to the Treasure Valley area, and they're like, I really think you're going to like the Treasure Valley area, Boise, Meridian, Star, Eagle, this area, because you get all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
The winters aren't crazy harsh.
I also love the weather. The
Yeah.
weather is beautiful.
Yeah, because New Jersey, I imagine, gets freezing.
It's cold, but also it's the humidity's crazy, and the heat. And here you do have that dry heat, but we really have 4 seasons here,
which has been really neat. Me and my wife, we want to experience that. We don't never have that. In Southern California, you're like one thing all year round, and it rains maybe 7 days, and you're like, oh, it's winter, it's rain.
But this is really strange because I really have not had a negative experience.
I wrote down some things because I didn't want to miss anything.
Our neighborhood is full of young families with kids. Every night the street is full of kids riding their bikes and playing.
Oh,
And,
that could be an aspect,
and
is that I feel like we've kind of gone back in time as far as the family life and kids outside playing.
There's a beauty here, a natural beauty, but also they're trying to preserve it. There's so much open lands here, and you have the BLM and all that. You know, you can go out there. People love the outdoors, and I think there's not that anger. Like New Jersey's a lot of angry people, and my guard was always up when I came here, but it's taken a while. And you'll realize when you get out of the rat race of the Northeast, I don't experience any of that here.
Chris, they're not going to believe. They're not going to believe you, and they're not going to believe me because there has to be something negative about Idaho. Has there been any negatives?
Virgin layer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that
My negative is feeling like I'm on an island, but it is a vast area, which is good. Okay, if you want to go to the like other cities or you have to, the minimum, it seems like you have to drive like 2 to 5 hours to get somewhere.
Yeah, that, and then a little bit in the summer if there's fires.
It can get smoky here.
And I guess the heat got me.
Even though I find that as a negative, I can mitigate that because we have a small local airport, you know, which is nice. You just can hop on the plane.
There is a rush hour here. I don't want anybody to think there's no traffic here, but it's about 5 p.m. to 5:10 p.m. So just make sure you plan around it.
If you ask me, there isn't any traffic here.
It cracks me up because I hear the traffic news on the radio coming in. They're like, okay, well, traffic update. And I'm like, what are you going to do a traffic update on? There's a car at the stop sign at Linder and, you know, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know who's getting paid to do that, but they fooled somebody because there ain't no traffic going on. It's such a different world. Pace of living here is so much different. Take it from me, you guys. I'm not just saying this. I wish we would have done this sooner.